Hello, here's just a little tour of some of the stops here. So starting working my way up, starting down on the choir, we have this gorgeous little Dulciana, very, very gentle string. It's gorgeous. Not quite as gentle, there's a gamba. Which is a salicet to 4 foot. Maybe a little bit with the Dulciana and salicet. The rather nice Clarabelle flute. And a rather nice 4-foot flute as well. That mixes rather nicely with the Clarabelle. And brightens up nicely with the salicet. And fills out with the gong. Crowning off the choir division, there's this glorious little clarinet. It's beautiful. The grate is a little more boisterous. It starts with 16-foot Borden, which is just wool. And then open diapason number 1, which isn't the facade pipe, interestingly, it sits in behind it. Open diapason 2 is much more friendly. Goes rather well with the principal. And a 15th. So rather typical, it's the 1932 hall flute. It's a very typical Lawton hall flute, I think. And harmonic flute, not really a Cavaillé call style, but works quite nice against the Dulciana on the choir. And the flutes together on the grate are quite nice, actually. But the 8 and 2 for the grate isn't too offensive either. And then to top the diapason chorus, there's a 4-rank mixture. It's a bit, I wouldn't say it's its best, just adding on the 16/8 and grate to the pedal. And adding in the Borden gives for the manuals gives just a wee bit more thickness. And a good 4-second echo is also nice. Going up to the choir, there's going up to the swell even, there's a quintation, which is a lovely little solo stop, again against the Dulciana and the 16-foot in the pedal. I don't think it works terribly well as an ensemble 16-foot, but that's just my opinion. I think the violin diapason is off line. Oh no, it's working today. It's not bad. The Liebliche Gedacht is okay. The strings here could be better for the swell. There's a solutional that's fairly... It needs a bit more. Again, shared bass with the Gedacht. With the Voix Celeste, it's not bad. It's a bit more French sounding. There's a Gemshorn that is neither fish nor fowl, as with so many of Lawton's Gemshorns. That's with the box closed. Once you open the box up, it's really more of a 4-foot violin diapason. And indeed works really well. Almost goes against the Gedacht. But definitely not against the solutional. Well, maybe it does. That shared bass keeps throwing me. There is a rather nice flageolet, which is a little bit more diapason-y than fluty, but still works quite well with the flute. And means that the swell, sorry, it's all right. I don't know what nonsense I'm playing, just to demonstrate the quintation, or the quintation. Oh, crescendo pedal that doesn't like being off. It's all right, but it's just a bit odd. Reeds, there is a nice-ish oboe, which is currently not talking to me. Does that mean that the contraffagotto isn't talking either? No, because it's a different. The contraffagotto is shared with a pedal, but it's a nice 16-foot reed. Works well in ensembles. Especially if you add the octave coupler. There's also a cornopian, which is all right. Means that full swell is a bit with the octave and the sub-octave. It's all right. However, the loudest reed by far is the great, it calls itself a tuba, it's more of a oversized trumpet. Well, but it means that full organ isn't, it's not massive, actually I don't need the choir, but it's a reasonable sound that you get. I'll come down to the pedals in a minute, but full organ, just the manuals. You almost don't need pedals. Unusually, the pedal department here is quite full. 16-foot Borden, which can be used for just about anything. It works quite well with the Dulciana on the choir, and equally well with the diapason chorus. So it's a really flexible Borden. It's also a violone. Again, it's 16 foot. That's matched by an 8-foot cello. And really the cello is more of a solo stop, I'd say. It works very well on its own. There is a bass flute to match the Borden, but it's perhaps a little thick. There's also an 8-foot principal, which does the job and probably matches better with the open well, it does match the open diapason, which is with the way that the organ sits in the room, feels very sort of 32-foot-esque, and actually I'm very sparing with the open diapason here. But on its own, I mean, that's only a G and you feel it. That's an earth-shattering. And as I say, the contrafagotto is shared down. So it's quite a flexible wee instrument. And means that you can play just about everything, of course, designed for accompanying plain chant and hymns and things. Crescendo pedal still works. I never use it, but it still works. Maybe not in the choir. It doesn't work on the choir. Works everywhere else. Most of the time. But yeah, it's a rather nice little flexible instrument.